All right. What's up, traders? What's up, tycoons? Super excited for today's video. We're going to go over Casper. All right. Take a look at the previous video setup. So that way you guys can really understand some of the technical analysis behind Casper, how we've been able to make really good trades on it, what we look for in the trades, and some of the signals that we look for pullbacks and as well as entries. We'll go ahead and break down all of that so you guys can learn a lot in today's video. And then we'll take a look at the current daily setup that we had. It's something very similar to what we saw in the past over here. We'll break that down in today's video, as well as go over the bullish price targets, the major demand zone that we really need to hold if we want to continue bullishness, and where we can go if we end up breaking our major demand zone of support. Just in case that does happen, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We'll also touch on today's sponsor, which is the Tangem wallet. It is a cold storage hardware wallet that looks just like a credit card. It's really amazing. It's completely waterproof. We'll talk more about them later. Before we move any further, the content provided in this YouTube channel is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended to be relied upon as legal, financial, or investment advice. Trading in stocks, bonds, commodities, and crypto involve a significant risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. So be sure to read through the full disclaimer. And we'll go ahead and talk about in the previous video setups, right? These were our bullish price targets, okay? This was our initial bullish price target here, right around 0.048. And you can see we did get past that point and we were able to climb up pretty nicely. Okay, we do have a couple bullish price targets to the upside that acted as some strong resistance here at 0.057 and also 0.0627. We were able to hit both of those bullish price targets. And if we end up getting another strong wave up where we make higher highs, okay, we're going to be looking at 0.070 is going to be the next target area if we break past our previous highs. Now, there's a lot of work to be done. Okay, but once you start to spot certain patterns, that will really help you guys out a lot, right? So, we have this blue line right here. It pretty much just shows you last time we had a strong push up and then we formed a pennant here. We were ultimately able to get a breakout, right? And we traded this move up here into our overhead supply zone at the time. Now, now we're above this level, right? We broke out above this level. So old supply will become new demand. And so we're looking to retest this area as an area of demand, which is why it's a green box. All right. We had the same thing, right? We pulled up, we ended up forming a bull flag. We ended up forming a nice bull flag over here, got the bull flag breakout, hit our bullish price targets, bull flag breakout, hit the bullish price target right here. So, things have been going pretty nice. Okay, on top of just some simple chart patterns, what you can also look at is going to be things like the MACD, okay, and the RSI. Now remember, the RSI measures the relative strength of a token, that is your relative strength index, and it's going to give you the relative strength at a given price, of the token, right? So if you take a look here where we created a high and then a higher high, we're clearly in an uptrend, right? We can see that we actually made a high and then a lower high and clearly in a downtrend. So what this means is that we're actually losing relative strength as we're increasing in price. And it's a very simple term known as bearish divergence. And it was also in our major supply zone here. So we have about two signs, that potentially we're going to see a sell-off here in Casper back at this time due to the bearish divergence, losing relative strength as price is going higher, and also being in a supply zone, an area of interest for sellers to potentially, end up selling, right? Now, what we wanted to see was we wanted to see a pullback and we wanted to see us hold our demand zone here and push back up higher. And we ended up forming a double top here, okay? And the bearish divergence still was playing out at this time, but we did a good job of consolidating in the demand zone and then getting that bull flag breakout and hitting our bullish price targets. Now, something really significant, okay, is going to be relevant towards this bearish divergence, right? If you take a look at what we have currently, that was another reason that we saw a pullback, right? We have a high here, we have a higher high here. All right, and this is a major bullish price target for us. Remember, bullish price targets are also known as areas of resistance. This is where people are looking to sell, potentially take profit. Okay, and you can see, we did get that bullish divergence or bearish divergence where we had the higher highs, but we had lower highs on the RSI. and we did see a pullback back into our demand zone, we're also holding our major retracement levels here, okay? We have the 38.2, 50%, and 61.8% levels. These are the three most common and well-respected Fibonacci levels, and you use these because nothing moves in a straight line down or in a straight line up, right? So we take our swing low from our most recent low here. We have the big push up, and now we're retracing for healthy retracement territory, which also perfectly aligns with our previous supply zone, turning into a new demand zone. We really need to stay above 0.04476 for us to be bullish on Casper. If we end up breaking through these levels, there's a very strong chance we're going to come back down to this 0.035 area, and look to retest this prior demand zone here as well. So definitely keep an eye out on 0.04476. Now, the reason that this bearish divergence trend line is so important is because we're getting very close to testing it again. Now, what you don't want to see is exactly what happened over here, right? So if we take a look here, we had a false breakout. Now, what I like to call these are look above and fail, right? And the reason that these are really significant and a bearish signal actually is because on this breakout, okay, bulls are really presented the full opportunity to take control, right? And if we take a look at where that was right up here. So here, bulls have the opportunity to really take control and push up higher to our bullish price targets. Okay, but rather than retesting the trend line on the breakout and pushing back up higher, what we see is a look above and fail, a false breakout, and it's a bearish signal. And we get that bearish signal here, and we end up coming down and retesting that prior demand zone. So we need to be very mindful here of a rejection and a head lower, right? Or of a false breakout, a look above and fail. That's going to be a bearish signal, right? What we want to see, okay, is if you're bullish on this, you want to see a breakout, retest, and then you want to see it trade sideways or continue back up higher, right? You don't want to see it immediately break out and then come back down into the range. That's going to be a bearish signal. Now, you can also use the MACD is also going to be very useful for spotting potential entries and exits based on this red line here. So once you see it curl down below, that's what's known as an exit signal when it curls below the yellow line. And you can see we got that exit signal up here. So ultimately, we had about three signs of a potential sell-off, right? We had the initial bearish divergence where we're creating higher highs, but lower highs on the RSI. Shortly afterwards, we got a MACD crossover. And then number three was our, hitting our bullish price targets, AKA resistance. So, three warning signs here that, hey, we could see some type of a pullback. We have gotten a pullback, but again, as I explained about the fibs, this is all healthy retracement territory. Okay, if we would have bounced off this 38.2 level at 0.05213, that would have been more indicative of a strong uptrend, and quicker bullishness essentially. But still, we're still in those healthy retracement territories. We really don't want to see us consolidate here too much. Okay, the more we consolidate here, the stronger the chance is that we end up getting a pullback. We really want to see some buyers step in and stay above this 0.04476 level and try to push things up higher to hit our bullish price targets that we went over in the video, right? So if we zoom in a little bit more, right, and we pay attention to what the MACD is doing right now, we can see that the MACD is starting to curl back up, and we're going to be looking to see if we can get a curl above the yellow line and potentially give us an entry signal. Now, what's going to be really important is if we take a look at what it did last time, right? Last time it curled down and it really just moved sideways here and didn't give a clear entry or exit signal. There is the potential that that can happen again. And we see we consolidated in this area of demand for, for a while. For about a month, we were trading sideways, and then ultimately we got the buy signal over here where the red line crossed up above. So keep that in mind, right? We don't necessarily have to go anywhere. We can continue to start to trade sideways. We've been trading sideways for a little bit, and hopefully the MACD can give us some clarity if we get a nice buy signal here, and if we get a strong breakout retest, and remain above this prior resistance trend line. That's going to be some of the major things that I'm looking at. Now, resistance on the way up to our previous bullish price targets is going to be at 0.05213, 0.04845. And then ultimately, that 0.04476 is going to be a really strong support level that we ultimately need to hold. Remember, we're looking for a move up, healthy retracement, continuation of the trend. All right, if you end up moving up, consolidating through these areas and breaking through and flipping 0.04476 to resistance from support, there's a strong likelihood we're going to come back down and retest those 0.035 levels. So, have a plan in place. Okay. You don't want to enter things with no plan. Remember, trading is like going to battle, it's like going to war, and you want to have the proper weapons at your disposal and know how to use those weapons so that way you can increase your odds of success on the battlefield. And every day you're going to be fighting, but instead of soldiers, right, you actually are deploying your money and your capital, right? So your capital, your money, those are your soldiers. Those are the ones that you're sending out to fight every day. Don't send them out into battle blindly. You want to develop a good strategy. You want to be a good war general in the battlefield. Okay. So, that's the main things that I'm looking at for Casper right now. We'll give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, the Tangem wallet. Guys, if you don't have your money off the exchanges, you need to get your money off the exchanges. Download the Tangem app today on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Tangem is actually looks like a regular credit card, but it's a cold multi-currency crypto wallet. It functions without any batteries, wires, and connectors. That's a really amazing feature. Okay, no longer do you have to plug in your hardware wallet to your PC or to your laptop, etc. The setup time is only about 1 to 3 minutes. Literally took me about 2 minutes to get mine set up. Once you download the app and receive your cards, you simply scan and activate, and you set up the password, and you can start making transactions. Tangem is actually sold in packs of 2 or 3 cards, and the additional cards are used for key backup. That's a really amazing feature because when you look at backup options, most other hardware wallets do not have backup options, but with Tangem, you can actually have multiple cards for the same wallet. So if you do happen to lose it or something happens to it, your cryptocurrency is not gone forever. That's a really nice feature when it comes to Tangem. We can go on some more, and I mentioned how they are completely waterproof. I really love that feature about them. So you can be completely submerged in water, it will still work and function. It's also completely freeze proof and temperature resistant. It's DeFi compatible. You can exchange, buy NFTs, make loans and deposits in more than 100 different decentralized applications with the help of Wallet Connect. So when you download the app and go to make your purchase, all right, use code exactly, ZACHLY, and that will get you a discount on your purchase while also supporting the channel.